Claire sat across from me at the dinner table, swirling wine in her glass with that same smug smile I'd come to loathe. She stared directly into my eyes and said, like it was the most ordinary thing in the world, "I'm tired of sneaking around. I have a devoted lover now. He'll be staying over from time to time." I didn't flinch. I just took a slow sip of my coffee, kept my expression calm, then replied, "I think you'll find him pretty useless, seeing as he's already lost his most important tools at this table." The smirk on her face wavered, her brows creasing just slightly as confusion crept in. "What the hell are you talking about?" she asked, eyes narrowing. I didn't answer her directly. I just leaned forward and met her gaze. "You'll find out soon enough," I said. I stood up slowly, leaving her there with her wine and growing anxiety. She had no idea what was coming. I'd seen the signs long before she admitted anything. The coldness, the constant texting, the late nights at work. That didn't add up. I didn't confront her then. I watched. I observed. I waited. Over several weeks, I set everything in motion. I installed hidden cameras. I monitored her phone habits. I even followed her once, enough to confirm the affair without needing to hear it from her lips. Her so-called devoted lover turned out to be Daniel, a man who strutted around with the swagger of someone who thought he was untouchable. But Daniel had secrets, very dark ones, and I dug until I knew them all. His job, his shady finances, his run-ins with the law, and the part that sealed his fate, his medical and digital records, full of incriminating filth. That evening, I told Claire I was turning in early, as expected. She waited just a few minutes before touching up her makeup and firing off a message. I watched from my office, security feed open, eyes on the screen. He arrived like he owned the place. They poured drinks, laughed like children getting away with something, unaware that this would be the last peaceful moment either of them would have in a long time. Then I made the call. Less than 10 minutes later, red and blue lights painted the street outside. I heard the screech of tires and the clatter of boots as law enforcement stormed in. Daniel froze mid-sip. Claire shrieked as the front door burst open. "Daniel Carter." One officer barked, slamming him against the wall. "You're under arrest for fraud, embezzlement, identity theft." He barely had time to blink. Claire screamed, tried to understand what was happening, looking back and forth between Daniel and the officers as if her mind refused to accept what her eyes were seeing. I descended the stairs calmly, my footsteps echoing over the chaos. Claire's face contorted with shock and horror when she saw me. "You," she hissed. "You did this." I nodded, smiling. "Of course. What? You thought I'd just sit back and do nothing." She lunged at me, but an officer held her back. "Careful," I said coolly. "Still legally my wife, for now." As Daniel was dragged out of the house, his face a mask of disbelief, Claire turned to me, desperate. "What the hell have you done?" I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. I let the truth out. I said, "The law did the rest." She was still trying to process it all when I pulled out my phone and opened a file. "Your devoted lover? He's not just a cheater. He's a criminal. Fraud. Debt. And best of all, soliciting minors online. The evidence is right here." Her face went pale. "You're lying." I turned the screen toward her. Screenshots, chat logs, transactions, court reports. She stared, trembling. "You didn't know?" I said, pretending to be surprised. "Or did you just not care?" She opened her mouth to respond, but I wasn't done. "You should also check your bank account." She blinked. "That little savings account you thought I was watching? I tracked every dollar you spent on him. While you were busy spending our money on your affair, I was moving funds. Quietly. Legally." Her hands shook as she grabbed her phone. Within seconds, her face crumbled. I didn't stop. "Oh, in the house? It's mine. Remember the prenup you barely read before signing?" Her breath caught in her throat. "You can't do this." I stepped closer, lowered my voice. I already did. Tears started falling. The proud, smirking woman I'd once loved now stood across from me as a shattered shell of herself. And I wasn't even close to finished. I turned to leave, pausing only to say, "By the way, you might want to silence your phone. Notifications are about to blow it up." And just like that, her phone began vibrating. Over and over. She opened it. Her eyes darted across the screen. Group chats, screenshots, videos, the leaked affair, the arrest, her open marriage proposal, all of it spreading like wildfire. Her job, her friends, her yoga group, everyone had received it. "You sent this?" she asked, voice barely above a whisper. "Not just them," I said with a shrug. "Everyone, welcome to your new reputation." She looked like she might collapse. The next day, she was fired from her job. Her employer wanted no association with the scandal. Friends ghosted her. Family wouldn't answer her calls. Even her so-called lover was denied bail when more of his skeletons emerged. The judge wasn't lenient. Pedophiles rarely get sympathy. 30 days to vacate the house. Divorce papers delivered the next morning. I, on the other hand, was thriving, calm, unbothered, free. That night, Claire called. Her voice was shaky, desperate. "Please, we need to talk. I made a mistake. I have nowhere to go." I listened quietly. Let her grovel. Let her squirm. Then I said, "Not my problem," and hung up. She sent more messages. Long paragraphs. Apologies. Please. I never replied. The last straw came a few days later. She showed up at my door, makeup smudged, clothes wrinkled, hair a mess. No longer the confident woman she once was. "Please," she whispered. "I need your help. I have no one else." I looked at her, really looked at her. Then I smiled. "So what happened to your devoted lover?" Her eyes fell. "Gone," she murmured. "Yeah," I said. "So am I?" And I shut the door. Behind it, I could hear her sobbing, but I didn't open it again. She made her choice. Now she could live with it.